Hello friends, this is the first time farmer over 50. Welcome to the homestead. So I noticed last night that it's been a long time since I've taken a video, a stroll down the south side of the 1.6 acre pasture. So I thought I'd do that today, bring everybody up to date on what's going on. So where we are right now, these orange flags, this designates the southwest corner of the 1.6 acre pasture. So we are looking basically here northeast. This is looking straight up the line, which is pretty much just north. Up that telephone pole. That telephone pole is kind of in the middle of the screen, just to the right of that large cedar tree. And right up there is where the northwest corner will be. All right, and just kind of panning across, and then we're going to go take a stroll so you can see the whole thing. So over here, this is the center of Sector D. And this is a big cedar tree that has been, we've marked it, so I just marked it because it was close to the center of D, just to make it easier to see. And then that pipe that you see there, that's just a piece of plastic pipe, and I put that there because of its light color. It's easier to see from a distance as well. So we're gonna mosey on down, looking basically north in this area that we're trying to create silvopasture. A lot of grass and stuff is growing up. A year and a half ago, this was all Lonicera, just completely covered in honeysuckle. So that's went through, cleared all that out. So this is its second summer to kind of bounce back. Got some grasses growing, some things that I quite frankly don't know what they are, but that's okay. They're not Lonicera, so I'm good with that. Still some more of these trees need to come out. There are quite a few cedars, but we are making progress. All right, and then I should have stopped and kind of turned around over here. This is the most recent and the biggest change here. If you remember from the last video, or one of the last videos that I made from this area, this was all just completely covered in honeysuckle. You just could not see anything. But now it is quite a bit clear. And this was part of the videos that were done back in May. You may remember seeing those. There were several of them. So this has all been cleared out. Still some more trees in this area that need to come down. Still a little bit thick, but there is a whole lot more sunlight getting through now. So we're just increasing our pasture. All right, now keep on heading over. Now this 1.6 acre pasture starts at the road up there, and you probably in the last few minutes saw cars going by. So that's where the road is. And then down to this point, it's about 145 feet from the road. But we can't put the fence right on the road, so it's going to be off the road about 17 feet. It has to be, the fence has to be 25 feet from the center line. So that's going to make this pasture about 132 feet wide. So from the road down to here. And then distance-wise, it's about 550 feet long, and that gives us just about 1.6 acres. Now we're in the area now that's where we were burning a lot of the cedars and brush that have been cut down over the last year. And there's a burn pile, or spot from where the pile was burned over the last couple of months. And then piles that will be burned here come the fall, when burn season starts up again. Now this was all cedars. You may remember this, what you see here, look like this. Just extremely thick. I like to refer to it as the forest primeval. Couldn't see hardly anything, but we have cleared out a lot. So there's a lot of stuff coming up in there. Right down here, you'll see some autumn olive, and we had quite a bit of autumn olive growing up through here. This was brought down. These were all brought down, and they're starting to come back a little bit, and we'll jump on those again. Make sure that they do not come back. And I've had some suggestions that I should use crossbow, I think, and maybe crossbow and kerosene or diesel fuel or something on them, but I want to stay away from anything that's not natural, so we're just going to let them go for right now until we get some animals on here that can put the hurt on them, or I'll just get back over here with a weed whip and do the job myself if necessary. There's a big double cedar right there, and we've made our way over to the center of Sector E. I just put this flag in back in January, and it is already faded out. You can't even see the E on it anymore. Up there, right there, you see another burn spot, and grasses or weeds or something trying to grow back in there. That is fine. And we'll keep heading on over. Now this just kind of amazes me, all this stuff that has grown up, because there was nothing growing through here before all these cedar trees were brought down. This was thick, just absolutely thick with cedars. Now up to this point right here, this is pretty much where I stopped burning piles. So looking back, most of the piles that were in this area have all been burned, and then now we're getting into the area where piles still remain, and these will be burned up come this fall, starting in October when the burn season starts again. This is a big pile right here that's basically right on top of where the fence line should be. So that's definitely going to have to come out of there. I thought about just running the fence around it, but that's still an option. But this pile has to come out. It's got to be burned eventually, so we'll see what happens. Bunch of piles up through there. So we're starting on our kind of on a downward slope here. More autumn olives coming up. But if you can see on here or not, but the deer must be grazing on these, because the tips of them have been taken off. So, but the deer need to hit those a little bit harder, keep those from coming back. And right over here is the center of Sector F. It's really amazing, when we first put these in, you couldn't find these flags hardly for anything. It was so dense that we put the flags in, then we come back here weeks or months later and we could make a heck of a time finding them. But now it's just literally a stroll across the pasture. Alright, we are headed over to the property line. See the neighbor's dog out, who might start barking. He does a pretty good job of defending his turf. Oh, he sees me. He's coming my way. There's an electric fence. He's got a collar on, so he won't come at me, but he might start barking. But we are almost to the end. All right, and this pole here, this marks the end of the pasture, and it's kind of leaning over. I gotta set it up a little bit better, but get the general idea. And the fence line, this is the property line right here where these T-posts are. And my neighbor Thomas, he has come over and cleaned up a little bit here, which was nice of him to do. But you can see the grass is growing up. Looks like we have some timothy through there, and I guess maybe some fescue. Still trying to learn my grasses. Let's see, I think that's some orchard grass in there as well. Some thistle. That's got to come out. Don't want thistles. But this is what it looks like. So this is our stroll from the southwest corner of the pasture all the way over to the southeast corner of the pasture, and you've gotten to see what it all looks like. So we really appreciate you watching. On your way out, please go ahead and hit like and subscribe, and we look forward to seeing you again in the future. But if not, we will see you in the pasture.